am Precious Eghe, a student of the Great University of Benin from Faculty of Education, Department of HSC, Environmental Education precisely, 300 level, yes. So today I'm going to be talking about how we can reduce, reuse, and recycle our plastics in order for us to reduce the plastic waste pollution on our environment. So first of all, what are plastic? Plastics are synthetic materials gotten or obtained from a wide range of polymers which can be molded into different shapes in a slightly elastic form or a rigid form, and it ranges from your nylon bag, your polythene bag, your PVC, etc. Generally, we have two general types or classes of plastics, which are your thermoplastic and your thermoset. The thermoplastic are the plastics that can easily react to heat. They can be softened or melted when you apply heat. An example is your nylon, your polythene bag. Then the thermosets are the plastics that are they are kind of rigid and hard. They don't easily react to heat. They cannot be easily melted by heat. They are rigid and hard. An example is more like your frying pan handle. Those kind of plastics you find there, they are quite rigid and hard. So general examples of plastics, it ranges from your water bottle, your shower caps, your jars, your cleaning products, your shampoo bottles, your straws, your yogurt cups, your takeaway packs, your packagings, your toys, baby bottles, CD, your bread bags, plastic film, etc. So let's go to the business of the day. Since we have been able to establish what plastic is and examples of plastic we can find in the environment, how can we reduce plastic consumption in order for us to reduce plastic pollution? First of all, make sure you always buy things in bulk. Buy in bulk in order for you to reduce packaging. Buying in bulk will help you reduce packaging and as well reduce the plastic consumption. And also, while you are going for shopping, make sure to always take your shopping bag along, your personal shopping bag, which is made with fabric, a cloth bag that you will use to bring back the products you've purchased, so that to avoid them giving you another plastic or nylon bag to bring back what you have purchased. And also, you can cook more instead of buying food. Cook more. Cooking more will help you reduce plastic consumption. Then also make use of your coffee mugs, your coffee cups instead of using disposable cups. And also purchase a reusable water bottle. Avoid using single-use plastic. Single-use plastic, these are plastics that you can only use them once. You cannot use them more than once. Using them more than once will make them unsafe for use. It will not really be nice. So those are single-use plastics. Avoid using those kind of plastics. And reducing plastic use is the most effective way of the 3 arrows of plastic. So we've been able to understand how we can reduce our plastic consumption. So how can we reuse plastic? How can we reuse plastic? Reusing plastic is the second most effective strategy for environmental stewardship. And it has to do with you thinking about how you can reuse your plastic or your item instead of throwing them away. That is what reusing has to do with. The most and major effective way of reusing plastic is purchasing reusable plastics. Like I said before, it is not advisable to purchase single-use plastic, because single-use plastics are plastics you can only use once. For example, your straws. So always make sure you purchase reusable plastics. This is one of the most effective way you can reuse your plastics. And there are other great ways, although they are kind of crafty. There are other great ways you can reuse your plastic. So just follow me. One way you can reuse your plastic is making use of them for a bottle top bag seal. You can see what I have here. I actually removed this from this can. And it is quite useful to me. See, after packaging my products, this Gary inside, I put the stuff on it, and then I can cover it like this to help preserve what I have inside. This is how you can use your plastic to make bottle top bag seal. And also, you can also use your plastics to make bird bed feeders. You can also use them to make watery containers, instead of just throwing them away after use. You can also use your plastics for food storage. Now you can see groundnut oil inside here, right? You can store your groundnut oil inside your plastics, your oil. You can even use it to store your salt, your ground pepper, and all of that. You can use them for food storage. You can also use your plastics for vase, and you can also use them as bin. Instead of just throwing them away like that, you can gather some dirt inside before you package them for disposing. You can use them for watery cans, watery containers, and you can also use them for piggy banks. You can use it to save money instead of just throwing them away like that. You can use them for pencil case, as a father or as a parent, to keep your child's pencil, for pencil case, for jewelry stand. You can store your jewelries depending on the sizes. You can store your jewelries. You can also use them for utensil holders, etc. The list goes on. So that's basically how you can actually reuse your plastics, thinking of how you can use them again instead of just throwing them away. And then we'll quickly move on to how we can now recycle plastics. Recycling plastic is also essential for plastic production, and one of the major objectives of recycling plastic is to reduce the plastic waste, to reduce plastic waste pollution, and to also reduce the pressure on new materials in order to produce more plastics. I don't know if you understand. One of the major objectives of recycling plastic is, one, to reduce the plastic waste we have around, and to reduce the pressure that is on new materials to produce more plastics. So when we reprocess our old plastic products, we are reducing the pressure we are placing on new materials. And plastic recycling is a method of gathering waste plastic and reconverting them to new plastic products. There are different steps in recycling plastic, and I'll start listing them. The steps in recycling plastics: one, we have collection, collecting the plastics from their various locations, from your houses, your offices, the environment, the road, your shops, etc. Collection. And secondly, sorting. It can either be done manually or with machines. You sort them out. And the third one is washing. You wash the plastics in order to remove the germs, the dirt, or any kind of contaminants that might be inside the plastic, because you don't know what they might have used it for before. You washing. And then shredding means breaking down the plastics into tiny pieces. And mind you, plastic recycling cannot just be done by anybody. It is done by recyclers, majorly in the recycling industries or companies. So it cannot just be done by anybody. It's majorly done by recyclers, people that are specialized, that know this job. So the fourth step I said is shredding, the breaking down of the plastic into tiny pieces. And the fifth step is identification of the plastic. This one is separation of plastics based on their density. After you have shredded the plastic into tiny pieces, you now have to separate the plastics by identifying them, separating them based on their density, by using the water test, your air classification test, or by their melting points and their color. That's how you identify them. Then after identifying them, the last step is the compounding. Compounding is the final step in plastic recycling process. It involves transforming the shredded or resized plastic into usable products for manufacturers. That is the last step. Then bringing all the plastic that they have identified and resized or shredded, and then manufacturing it into usable products for manufacturers. So I believe that from all I have said now, you've been able to gain one or two things about your plastics. You've been able to get one or two things. You've been able to learn one or two things that can help keep the health clean, keep the environment clean, and help make the environment be in a better and a safe condition. Thank you so much.